Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm just going to demonstrate the April 2023 Sheetload of Cards put out by Crafty from Call Me Crafty, and I will link her website down below. This is my interpretation, and let's go ahead and get started. These are just some still pictures of the Sheetload. Alright, so here's the information that you'll need, and I'll be using the hashtags that you see that would lead you back to Crafty where you can pick up this Sheetload information. You have to watch her intro video or become a member. I did become a member, so if you are a member, you get access to all for the year, all on one page, which is really handy. So I really like that. I'll be using my card kit of the month from Simon Says Stamp. These are the Poppy Perfection, and it came with paper and it came with embellishments, and I'm going to be using the paper and the stamps. I was going to use the sequins, but I ended up not using them because of the look I went for. So I stamped out 6 of the small poppies, and I'm going to color those with my Castle Art pencils in Terra Verde, Vermilion, and Coral Deep. And I do pick up another couple of colors too, by the way. Then I've cut up the paper per the instructions, and these are the sentiments that are in the card kit, and I stamped those out with bundled sage so that they would kind of coordinate with the color. And I do have the die cut, so I will be die cutting those out. And then I've got basically the 6 3-inch pieces and the 6 1-inch by 3-inch pieces. These little sticky things came in the kit, so I'm trying to use most everything from the kit. This is Simon Says Stamp Schoolhouse Red cardstock. I love this color. And I think I'll be using craft card bases. I haven't made up my mind yet, so we'll do that when we get there. We're going to start out by coloring all these poppies, and I'm certainly not going to color all these on camera. And bear in mind that I'm brand new to color pencils and Gamsol, so you know, they're not perfect, but I don't need them to be perfect. They are handmade cards. I'm going to go in, and I keep my Gamsol in like a little jar. And these are my pencils, and I need a brown pencil for the center, just a little bit of brown in there. So I'm trying to select one here, and I have my Castle Art pencils in this little pencil case I got on Amazon. I don't think I want henna browned. I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna go with the burnt umber. I just need a tiny bit. You wouldn't even really notice it was there. So generally the center of a poppy is kind of green, basically. It's you know, the bud still, and then sometimes it's got some black in it, and so that's where I'm going with the burnt umber. But I'm going to start out with this green color, and all I'm doing is just throwing down color onto those leaves. I don't want this to be dark. I want it to stay light like my sentiments, and to coordinate with the card stock that came with it, or the paper that came with the kit. So I'm going to grab my Gamsol, and I just have it on some little pads here, just making sure it's still wet, and yep, it's still greasy. I'm going to grab my little blending stump, and I'm just going to push this color around so that it fills in the leaves. Pretty neat trick with the Gamsol that I just, you know, recently learned. I've watched people do it, but I've never done it myself. Again, pretty new to pencils. But, you know, there's a wide variety of colors, and I'm just checking against the color on the paper. And then I'll do the centers with a little bit of the brown and a little bit of green, and then I'm just going to kind of put in the deep dark areas first. And then I'll go in with the light areas with the coral color. And then I'll attempt to blend them together with the Gamsol. And this one does okay. The other ones I did better on, but I did those off camera, so I wasn't so nervous. You know, it's funny, you don't think it, but I get nervous every time I make a video, every single time. And I'm just coming back in here with the pencil and making it a little bit darker. All right, so I've got those all colored in now, and I've got my sentiments, everything cut out. So we'll start to assemble now. But what I want to do first is I don't want white here. I want off-white. I want this to be kind of a little vintage looking. So I've got my Simon Hurley cookie dough ink pad, which is my favorite for vintaging things up without getting them too dirty, too grungy. And I've just got this big flat brush. And I got this one on Amazon. It's not as good as my Altenew one, but it is my brush that's dedicated to cookie dough, so it's fine. It works just fine. And so I'm just going to go around all the white areas, but I also, and it's hard to pick up stuff off this mat, I want the white out of these. So I'm going to come in and just color them. And it won't really impact the underneath color at all. It'll just give the white a little bit more of a creamy color. That's what I'm looking for. So you don't have to put up with your cards or your paper the way it is. You can alter it. You could stamp on it if you wanted to. You could do some heat embossing, whatever you want. It's your paper. But I do like this paper, and I forgot to tell you where that paper came from. Let me see if I can find the, well, here's me just putting the pieces together while I'm looking for the paper. I can't find it. It came with the kit anyway. So I'm just using my little tape runner here, and I'm horrible at these things, but it's a lot faster than glue. And I'm putting these pieces down, and I'm going to be using this sort of twill tape as my ribbon, because I'm not a fancy ribbony kind of girl. I'm more of a rustic kind of girl. So I'm just putting the tape down and taping those down, and I will do all 6 of those. The other thing is I want to be able to pop those up on the card bases. So I've got some fun foam, and I'm going to cut it down so that it fits on the back of that. And you'll see on this first one I mismeasure. My brain doesn't go where my eyes saw. So, but it's okay. It's fine, no problem. So I'm just trimming this down. And I trim it a little bit too short, but it doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. And then I take the sticky part off and just stick it down onto there. See, it's not bad. It's just a little bit short. And then I'm going to glue it down to my card base, and I'm going to grab, I believe I want to do a craft card base because I don't have any cream colored card bases. And I'm just going to glue this down, and actually I'm going to fight with my glue because that's my story these days. It's always just a battle with the glue. Come on. And especially when I'm trying to glue on this foam. I just cleaned this thing too. I'm about ready to switch glues if this glue doesn't start behaving. So I'm just going to place that smack dab in the middle of the card base, and I'll do the rest of those off camera. Alright, so I've got those down, and they all look the same, but they all look different, sort of ish. And then now I'm going to start placing down my flowers and my sentiments. And I'll just do one, and I'll do the rest off camera, and we'll be done. And what I'm going to do here is, as I glue these down, I'm going to alter my placement on each card so that they have that slight bit of difference. I'm thinking I want to go right about like that. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my glue and glue down my flower and my leaves. And you have to give it a minute when you're trying to stick it to fabric to fully take hold, so you don't want to disturb it too much. And then we'll just glue this one down. I think I'll go here with it. And again, I do each one of them different so that I have a good variety of cards here that I could give away in a set or keep or, you know, send out individually. And so I'm going to use these thin foam strips here because they fit nicely on these little sentiments from the kit. And I'm just going to put some foam tape down. I'm going to kind of, you know, pick and choose where I put it, because there's this one really, really thin spot where I feel like the tape will show through. So I'm not going to get that spot. I'm going to go this way with it instead. But you do you. However you want to pop it up, or if you just don't want to pop it up, or if you want to cut multiples and stack them. But when I'm going over a bumpy surface like this, I do like to use foam tape, because it really does help it kind of sort of even out. All right, I'm happy with where I'm going to put it. I'm going to peel the back off, and then I'm going to use some extra glue just to, you know, make sure that that's glued down well. I think this is the hardest part, is pulling off that backer. And also the extra glue, you know, helps you kind of have a little bit of wiggle room when you're trying to place your sentiment. Okay, there we go. Now all I have to do is add some embellishments. And I was going to use the gold disc, but I changed my mind, so I'm going to use these vintage Nouveau drops, because they feel like they're in the right color range. And trust me, I am very terrible at these kinds of things. But these Nouveau drops tend to kind of even themselves out, even if they, you know, come out looking like a Hershey's Kiss. They tend to go ahead and round themselves down. So I'm just making sure I don't have any bubbles in there before I get started. See, that always frustrates me. I always forget that it's going to go down by itself. And I'm just going to put the 3 there, and then I'll do the rest off camera, and I'll be back to show you the end result. And I'm just going to fix that little bit right there. There we go. All right, nice and even. I'm happy with the placement. And here's the finished cards. So you can see that each one's a little bit different in where I place the Nouveau drops and where I place the sentiments. And then I did an envelope, and I tried to color it, but I really couldn't match up the colors because it was on the craft. But it doesn't matter. Anyway, that's it for today. Make sure to go visit Call Me Crafty Al so that you can get the recipe for this sheet load of cards as well. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. And again, this is April 2023 Sheet Load of Cards. Bye-bye.